You do have to register to vote Republican. All right. You don't have to actually do it. They can't prove that. As long as you register, Sydney Sweeney will come over and have sex with you. We've got exciting news today, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you saw this, but according to the White House, whitehouse.gov, not .com, that'll get you to a naughty website, whitehouse.gov, they have announced that if you register as a Republican in a battleground state, you are legally entitled to have sex with Sydney Sweeney one time. So that's pretty cool. Yo, Sydney Sweeney, you're about to get. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Sydney Sweeney. You do have to register to vote Republican. All right. You don't have to actually do it. They can't prove that. As long as you register, Sydney Sweeney will come over and have sex with you. And also, she won't become. You got to go to her. And it's not going to be full. It depends on what mood she's in, et cetera, et cetera. There's all sorts of different conditions. You might just have to off, look at her butthole. But, you know, I've heard the Hawk Tuah girl is joining the administration. That is accurate. She's actually a Supreme Court justice now, the Hawk Tuah girl. We got to talk about Sydney Sweeney, ladies and gentlemen. It was a big news a week ago. Now it's Monday. We've got, that's all true. We got to talk about it. And this amazing tweet that Donald Trump posted, a matter of fact, last week. Sydney Sweeney, a registered Republican, has the hottest ad out there. It's for American Eagle, and the jeans are, quote, flying off the shelves. Big thing. There we go. We are winning the culture war, let the record state. The left doesn't know what hit him. An underrated aspect of Trump tweeting is that he'll put things in quote for some reason. Jeans are, quote, flying off the shelves. Are they not even on sale yet? I didn't even know that. That rocks. How much does it cost for a pair of American Eagle jeans? I get a pair of like Levi jeans and they're like $40. And I'm like, this is highway robbery. I can go to Farm and Fleet where, you know, their celebrity spokesperson was John Ratzenberger, but he was doing the same. Go get him, Sydney. Spelled her name wrong. On the other side of the ledger, Jaguar did a stupid and seriously woke advertisement that is a disaster. What's interesting is no actual human beings have heard about this Jaguar ad that the right wing keeps mentioning. They keep all the time saying, look at this Jaguar ad where there was like a they, them on camera or something. It's very, very silly. Sydney the Sloth. Absolutely. It's not a real thing. Like no humans care. It's silly bullshit nonsense. But it makes you wonder, is the snake eating its tail at this point? Is it that these people are talking about Jaguar because Donald Trump said it? No. Like last time I did this, I did the segment on Michael Knowles where he was talking about it. Matt Walsh talked about it. Tim Pool, all these losers talked about it. And so now Donald Trump is mentioning it and then they'll talk about it again. It's this Ouroboros kind of situation where he consumes nothing but right-wing rage slop. And then he also is the one producing the right-wing rage slop. It's very, very weird. It's like if Steven Spielberg only saw Steven Spielberg movies. Adjust this a little bit. There we go. That is a disaster. The CEO just resigned. The company is in turmoil. Is that true? Did the CEO of Jaguar resign? Let me look at it. CEO of Jaguar resign. So apparently he did, according to this article, August 1st he did. We're not doing kayfabe. We're all doing kayfabe to various degrees. You know, we're all pretending to be someone else. The company is in turmoil. Shouldn't they have learned a lesson from, you're a terrible person and you need Jesus. Shouldn't they have learned a lesson from Bud Light, which went woke? But like here, he just capitalized woke and didn't make it all capitals. Interesting guy. And essentially destroyed in a short but very woke campaign, the company. Now, do you remember the Bud Light thing? Where, what did this have been? 2 years ago, 3 years ago now? They did one 5-second TikTok video where a trans woman was like, I'm the most annoying person ever and I enjoy dog shit beer. Glug, glug, glug. And that was it. And all the Republicans were like, well, there's, going to be a race war. The person's not even a different race. They're just trans. I believe I said race war. So there's going to be one. And I'm Kid Rock, and to show my anger over this 15-second TikTok, I will be firing guns at a pallet of Bud Light that I purchased for some reason. In a short but very woke campaign, the company, sure. The market cap destruction has been unprecedented. Billions of dollars lost. What? And then, or just look at a few months later, he's like, oh, it's all cool now. Forget what I said. Kid Rock. Yeah, I think, well, Kid Rock, was it Joe Rogan or something like that? He did an interview where he said, so, you know, I was at one of my rich guy parties where I don't talk like this, and I talk in my actual voice. Hello there. Yes, I'm from Detroit. I'm from a very wealthy suburb, and my father owned a car dealership. Yes, that's my name, Kidith Rock. Thank you. He was telling Joe Rogan, I was at some party, and I saw the CEO of Bud Light, and I sat him down. The way he framed it, in my head, I just imagined him like pulling a chair backwards and being like, we're going to sit down and rap with the kids and tell them how to live. And just chatted with him and said, listen, you guys know you messed up, right? And he admitted that he messed up. I was like, what? I think most people on the right wing, maybe most people in general, just legitimately think that there was an ad campaign involving this Dylan Mulvaney, who, again, I'm not saying she doesn't have a right to live as she sells seashells down by the seashore. She so sees fit. She's very irritating. I simply must admit that. And the beer sucks. So when I was in a grocery store throwing it against the wall and screaming about the Jews, I was doing it for the right reasons. Let the record state. Yeah, they sent her one can with her face on it. There was not an ad campaign. They probably paid her a little bit or something. No humans would have seen this, but this is how the right wing is so good at this, is creating nonsense, because what they fundamentally understand, and this is the biggest failing of the Democratic Party, they have not capitalized on this. What humans fundamentally want now, that we've completely removed the notion of politics ever helping anyone. No one in America has a thought like, okay, if I vote for this person, my life can get better. The only thing people want is to scream at people they find annoying. That's the only thing that politics can deliver unto you now, is other people to scream with. So the Democrats haven't capitalized on that, but they could. They could. Wine moms are screaming every day. Go to any suburb and just ask any wine mom how they feel about Donald Trump, and they will just crush the wine glass in their hand. Blood will spurt everywhere, and they will scream as if they were giving childbirth, something they have never done conscious. So they're not real women. We need to amp up this anger. Anyway, at the end, he starts talking about Taylor Swift for some reason, or just look at woke singer Taylor Swift. Ever since I alerted the world as to what she was saying on Truth, that I can't stand her. And I guess that's the end of it. No, this has to be. It says the big 6 retweets and 9 likes, and now I'm wondering if this was fake. No, this was real. I saw people actually talking about it. I like when Donald Trump, he just tweeted, I hate Taylor Swift. Unironically, a better political message than anything the Democrats have ever done. Hakeem Jeffries is just like, well, I think Donald Trump is being very rude, and I'm going to No. Kamala Harris needed to get up on the debate stage and say, Donald Trump, I've heard your dick sucks. I've heard you have one of the worst dicks on earth. It's crazy. That is true that Democrats hate commies. And to be fair, if you've ever interacted with a communist online, you'll discover why. They are very annoying, but they're right about a lot of stuff, crazy about a lot of other stuff. Because that's the other thing, that the fundamental problem is that the Republicans are good. Okay, those are just LARPers. Okay, as opposed to the actual revolutionaries out there, sure. I'm going to be very dismissive of anyone on the left. That's my thing, and I've decided, and I will be doing it. Here's politics, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to break it down for you. The issue is that people on the far left, they actually want things that most Democrats don't want. Not exclusively. There's a lot of things. You talk about universal health care. You talk about, a more robust social safety net. Totally get it. But especially the far social stuff where it's like, we need to abolish gender completely. That's not a mainstream position. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong necessarily. I don't have any actual political opinions. Don't shut up. I agree to have a general strike. I have a general strike every day when I wake up, jack off, and then don't buy anything because I'm broke. But as I was saying, there are these far left positions. And again, I'm not saying they're right or wrong. There are very far left positions I agree with. Very far left positions I see the advantages of. You will destroy gender. That's what I put on my Tinder profile. Come over, I will destroy your gender. But the average Democrat is pretty middle of the road. And if you describe to them what radical communist activists in Portland want, the gender stuff is liberal crap. But this is the point. Everyone keeps fighting where it's like the gender stuff is for liberals and the communists are like, no, we need to do this. And the liberals are like, no, we need to do this. Meanwhile, the furthest right-wing Republicans, like those guys Mehdi Hassan debated, who are like, oh, my main thing is I would like to liquidate all brown people. The average Republican agrees with that. The average Republican is like, it'd be great. Yeah, we need to put them all in camps. I find them very annoying. So it's much easier to rein in the radicals. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm saying. I don't really have a point to any of this. Trump's not as funny anymore, though, right? We agree. Trump is kind of, I don't know. It's okay. Thank you for saying it's okay. Trump, that was pretty funny. There was a lot of funny stuff in there, but he definitely has more dementia now than even Joe Biden did. Joe Biden, his brain sucked. People can say dementia. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but clearly if you saw Joe Biden in the debate or, any moment he was on television prior to that, he was not a well man. But I think even Donald Trump has eclipsed that now. It's amazing. Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, by the way. They figured that out. They looked up. You can just find out anyone's registration. She had to register to be a Republican in Florida in 2024. That is true. It is pathetic. It is very cringe. It is very like Scott's Tots. That's the thing where they just make this old senile man come out and do a little dance and he's just confused about what's happening all the time. And it's not good. So Sydney Sweeney registered in 2024 to vote for Trump. Like she is MAGA probably. Sydney Sweeney probably thinks about politics at about the level of an average Republican, which is not really much at all, but she probably just has a general, I don't know. I was about to say she has a general anger. No, she's a get the bag Republican. She'll fucking endorse anything. Do an American Eagle, Dunkin' Donuts. I gave her $20 and she let me fuck her. Turns out that wasn't Sydney Sweeney. It was Sydney Greenstreet. Who cares? I don't give a shit that someone's a registered Republican. Who gives a fuck? I mean, like, it is always about the bag or the queers. You're absolutely correct. It's either about, and the queers sort of, by the way, to them, Asians are queers. Let me just sum all that up for you guys. It's all the same thing for them, okay? It's about getting the money or liquidating the undesirables. That's all it really, really is there. Did you guys ever watch Euphoria? I never did. Seemed very dull. But I don't think anyone was actually mad at this commercial. Usually whenever there's some nonsense that's like, whatever, there's not enough black people in the new Marvel movie or some stupid nonsense. Yeah, the problem with Euphoria is the concept made me angry. I heard about it. It was like, it's about a bunch of teenagers doing drugs and having sex. And I'm like, I never did any of that. God, I hate you people. But the thing is, usually whenever there's, not enough, the girl Ghostbusters movie hasn't made enough money or whatever stupid nonsense you're doing. Whenever that's the case, they can usually find like one or two tweets from someone who's being stupid. I have not even seen that with the Sydney Sweeney thing. It's literally just them making it up. You'll see a post and someone will go, oh man, look at how cool this ad is. This is real American justice or something. I don't know. And then they'll be like, oh, and the liberals are so mad at it. And it's like, do you have an example of that? You have an example of it? I'm sure there's at least one person on Blue Sky going like, jacking off to Sydney Sweeney is a sign of white supremacy. Stop doing literal violence to melanated voices. I don't see any of that. I don't know. It's interesting. The culture war thing is just weird. The libs are all defeated now. They're just kind of at home drinking tea going, Oh, I just hope it ends soon. What, the Trump presidency or like everything? I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. They weren't doing a winky wink. They are drinking tea like Kermit the Frog. I don't know. I saw the commercial and it's like jeans, da 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 da. That it's entirely possible American Eagle was like, it seemed to me, it's entirely possible they were, 1488. How employers can pay you an emotional salary. That's a great question. We literally talk about eye color. So there was one person offended by it, and it was Lamp. She was the one who was mad about it. Is it? I'm just not attuned to these things. I heard somewhere that they put a tweet out that had 14 words in it. It had 88 characters. Really? But like, what's the deal with that? Let me look that up. I'll go to the browser here. American Eagle tweet 14 words. Fully leaning into the dog whistles now. This is on Hassan Piker, which is a really cool chill subreddit full of people who are smart. Her jeans, her story. There's rubbing her jeans, her story. HH. Fair. 14 words. We'll continue to celebrate how everyone wears their AE jeans with confidence their way. I find it a little tough to say conclusively that that's a dog whistle. It might be, though. So what if it is? Who cares? How much do American Eagle jeans even cost? Let's go to it. American Eagle jeans. How much do I got to pay? Ooh, 50, 70% off clearance. All right, not a bad deal. Shop men's. Let's see. I wear in pants a size 36-32 due to being very, very tall and mildly fat. Shop all clearance. Okay. Where are the jeans that Sydney Sweeney wore without underwear? Oh, yeah, she was selling her bathwater at one point. Get that bag, girl. Get that bag, girl. Coincidences do exist. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised if American Eagle were like, well, it's cool to like be a Nazi now. We sure would like to sell more jeans. People don't have ideology. No one cares about anything, really. Pretty much anyone on earth would be willing to do the Holocaust for a six-figure job. Be like, I just need full benefits. I will do the Holocaust. Holocaust? She did, but the whole thing about her bathwater was she did this commercial where for Dr. Squatch's soap, which is a terrible name for a soap. And in the commercial, she was in a bathtub, and consequently everyone on the internet was like, I will never stop coming to this. I will fucking conquer Constantinople in order to have her. People are not just horny, they are violently horny for this woman. And if I was a younger man, I'd probably get it. You get old, your testosterone drops. The thing about Sydney Sweeney, if you're that horny, she's taking her boobs out. I think it was on Euphoria, which again, I haven't seen. I've just seen some GIFs from it. Okay? If you want to jack off to Sydney Sweeney, you can do it. You do not need to post about it. Just do it. Okay? And it would be better if instead of being like, we need to elevate Sydney Sweeney or else the white race is dying, it would be better if you were like, I just kind of want to come. I just kind of want to bust. That's all I really care about. Yeah.